American Horror Stories is the spin-off of Ryan Murphy's anthology series American Horror Story. Unlike the original, these are standalone episodes, each delving into horror myths, legends, and folklore. And if you're a fan of the original, don't be surprised to spot a few Easter eggs in an episode or throughout the series. The concept of having new horror stories every week seemed too good to be true. Unfortunately, that was the case because the first season was a bit lukewarm, shall we say, but it had enormous potential. If you're new to my channel, you can see that I love all things horror, especially horror stories. But I am a believer in forgiveness, so for the second time around, the trailer for American Horror Stories piqued my interest once again. After watching the first episode of Season 2, I think Ryan Murphy and co listened because I would say this episode is almost on par with the original series in terms of setting, twisted mind games, and a promising storyline. So let's have a quick look at American Horror Story Season 2, Episode 1, titled Dollhouse. This story focuses on Van Wert, a wealthy, eccentric toy maker who's obsessed with dolls. He's obsessed to the point that he has built his own dollhouse. Now, this wouldn't be an American Horror Story if there was not some sadistic nature behind or inside this house. Not only does he collect dolls, but he tricks young women into applying for a secretary position. He kidnaps them and turns them into his latest prize, shall we say. Kobe, the heroine of this story, unfortunately falls into this trap. She's knocked unconscious at his office during their interview, but later wakes up inside the custom-built dollhouse. Van Wert then tells her that this would be her home for the next 7 days, but also she would be participating in a pageant. Confused by this, she declines, but really has no choice in the matter. What I loved most about this episode was that not only did it surpass my expectations, but in my opinion, this story could have expanded into a few episodes or even an entire season. Maybe not 8 episodes, but there was a lot of potential here to expand on. Case in point, we meet various women or dolls in the house, who basically tells Kobe that she needs to get in line with what's about to happen. If she doesn't, she will learn the hard way. Visually, it's unsettling looking at them. They're not allowed to move or speak in his presence unless they're told to do so. Their eyes move in a way that you would suspect if your own doll started looking around the room without moving a muscle. There's usually a grand prize for winning a pageant. In this particular setting, the lucky young lady who wins will not only become Van Wert's wife, but also the new mother to his child, Otis, a slightly sarcastic yet sensitive son who yearns for a new mother. When Kobe is forced to play her new role in front of him, she sees this as an opportunity to build a rapport with him once his father leaves the house. This behavior shocks the other dolls that she's not following the rules. What shocks us, the audience, a few moments later, is that we see her perform a magic trick. She moves a toy truck across the room without touching it. Otis and the other dolls are completely caught off guard by her actions, and the story becomes a lot more intriguing. This is one of the key points I was referring to. Yes, we do find out at the very end why or how Kobe has these powers, but this part of the story could have played out a bit more before we got there. I would have liked to have seen a bit more of Kobe's backstory. This pageant or contest could have been extended beyond a week if there were more dolls added to the mix. We would have potentially seen more dolls enter the house over the course of an entire season until everything culminates with twists and turns revealing a winner or the demise of Van Wert. The storyline between Kobe and Otis also had promise even when the episode ended, just to get a bit more insight to their lives once leaving the house. So each doll is taken out one by one until the last few are left standing, and these few decide to devise a plan to escape the house. I think this episode would have had a different reaction or outcome if it took the route of actually turning Kobe into a doll permanently, which is what I thought was going to happen, but writer Manny Cotto added another brilliant layer to this episode because Kobe's magic has meaning. When 2 witches arrive to help her escape, they bring her to the Academy for Gifted Young Ladies, the same academy in American Horror Story Coven. In the final moments, Kobe decides to bring Otis with her, and to protect his identity, she tells him to go by his middle name, Spaulding. The fact that Dennis O'Hare played this character in Coven, his performance as Otis's father, makes this decision to include him in Dollhouse a genius one. Adding a young Myrtle Snow at the very end was another wink for avid fans of the franchise. So let me know in the comments, did you enjoy episode 1 Dollhouse? Are you excited for the rest of season 2? Thanks so much for watching.